Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Look, the last couple years have certainly been interesting. It seems like every single year is crazier than the last. The media has completely lost its mind and gone down a woke rabbit hole, and probably the last place that I would be looking to for some sanity in the year 2023 would be the Young Turks. I mean, the sheer craziness of the hosts at the Young Turks, as I always repeat, helped spawn this YouTube channel. Well, it seems like there's a slow change happening at the TYT, maybe not the whole network, but certainly one individual, Kasparian. Gotta give her credit, gotta always be honest in these moments whether I agree with their political views or not. Kasparian is certainly waking up on many different issues. You know, I used to not be able to listen to more than 5 seconds of her incoherent ramblings. However, nowadays, these Kasparian segments, in many cases, are actually pretty based. A little bit akin to Bill Maher in a way. Definitely still a leftist, but at least willing to tell the truth on controversial issues. In the left-wing world, there is an unforgivable sin. Whatever you do, you are not allowed to defend white people. Well, white cis people. No matter what the circumstance, white people are always at the center of evil, the core, the nucleus of evil. Well, Kasparian's immune system has seemingly finally beat the woke mind virus, and she's telling the hard truths that's making the woke left real uncomfortable. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. The Twitter wokies are really angry with TYT's Anna. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so I have to admit the other day I was not expecting to wake up to an Kasparian video on my timeline, which I watched in full the entire time going, yep, you're right. I can't tell you the last time that happened. You know, generally it's little pockets here and there. Kasparian has a base take and then it's some leftist nonsense, base take leftist nonsense. This time, pretty much the entire segment, she hit the nail on the head. Let me show you guys what I mean.
Uber has placed Bo Young Lee, its head of diversity, on leave after she moderated a couple of employee events that made the horrifying mistake of including the perspectives of white female employees. After several years of diversity, equity, and inclusion trainings, making it clear that the inclusion part is really meant to exclude the participation of white women. We've been conditioned to think that generalizations about entire groups of people is somehow okay, as if it doesn't contradict the fight against racism. We've taken the bait in this extremely successful divide and conquer strategy. And to be honest, I've been struck by how effortlessly callous the online discourse has become. Any out of context viral video that features a conflict with a white woman is automatically considered evidence of a racist act, even before we have all the details. The latest example involved a pregnant hospital worker named Sarah Comrie in New York. She was captured on video during an argument she had with a black man over a city bike in Manhattan. The man claimed that he paid for the bike rental, but Comrie disagreed.
No, record him.
Help me! Please help me!
This is not your bike.
Please help me!
This is not your bike.
Please help me! Help! Please get off me!
What's going on?
The dominant online narrative was that this racist pregnant woman tried to steal a bike from a black man and then made herself out to be a victim with her white tears. Her attorney later provided receipts claiming that she in fact paid for the bike. But it felt like no one thought it might be a good idea to just wait and see what the truth was before attacking her. Her employer at Bellevue Hospital was immediately contacted. She was placed on leave pending an investigation. Now her attorney is looking to potentially sue media outlets that propagated false allegations about his client. But we still don't know the full story. And it's better to wait and see how this develops before people try to destroy a stranger's life and livelihood. Simply put, I absolutely loathe this crap. And I can't pretend like I'm above it because I engaged in a lot of it myself. And I have deep regrets about that. Karen hunting is a destructive symptom of the powerlessness people feel as they're more atomized and alienated from those around them. It's the abscess that forms from the lack of an organized movement that values the humanity of individuals while fighting institutions that propagate inequality.
You know, again, like I mentioned in the intro, it's the unforgivable sin in the leftist world. To actually point out anti-whiteism is unforgivable. in the left-wing world. But Anna Kasparian did it, and she's right. There's a clear double standard. The double standard is that anything targeting any POC, any minority, community, or individual is totally off limits. But when you're talking about white people, it's pretty much open season. It's very similar to Trump supporters. Calling for violence or political intimidation, targeting any political group or individual is totally off limits and unacceptable. But if it's Trump supporters, well, they had a red MAGA hat on and therefore they deserve it. They had it coming. They were asking for it. And the beauty of being on the right side of these issues. Her content automatically jumps up a level in terms of quality, is automatically better, because when you're on the right side of the issue, well, you have this interesting thing called the receipts. Notice how she goes through example after example, from the Uber diversity chief all the way to the New York City bike nurse. She hits the nail on the head pretty much across the board, pointing out another double standard that I totally agree with, the issue of Karen being a racial slur. Look, I'm never going to do what the left does. I'm not going to claim that I'm offended by the term and that it should be banned and censored. I don't really care. For the most part, I find them all just to be memes, comedy. We're laughing at ourselves as people, as a society. I think in general, people need to take a chill pill, just relax and see the humor in things. That would bring us all together a whole lot than being overly offended about everything, constantly being fragile and soft. But with that being said, it's true, and it presents another double standard. Actually, a lot of the leftist Twitch streamers have been pointing this out recently, and I think that's probably where Anna Kasparian got the talking point. What's the difference between the Karen meme and the Shaniqua meme? There is no difference. It's the exact same thing. It's a catch-all term, it's a racial label, meant to point out bad or ridiculous behavior within a particular race of people, except of course one is highly sensitive, totally condemned. If you use it in comedic fashion online, then you're labeled every ism in the book. You're a racist, a bigot, you're a terrible person, you're a white supremacist, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. Yet Karen is used freely, at will. Everybody uses it. I use Karen. I've used it in multiple thumbnails. It shows the clear double standard. There's clear anti-whiteism. Being racist, condescending, arrogant, rude, hateful towards white people, and specifically white cis people, is culturally and politically accepted. Because from the leftist perspective, and they control culture, they control what people are offended by. I mean, let's be real, conservatives kind of just don't really care as much. Right-wingers are simply just not soft like these leftoids. But leftoids are in control of the realm of what to be offended by, and their entire ideology has sort of evolved into this white people are the devil, white people are the oppressors, they're the cause of every single problem, and therefore everything is justified. You know, we used to have standards in how we labeled things. What that seems like to me, that seems like the perfect definition or the exact criteria for a hate group. And I think that's what it is. I think the left has become radical, extreme. I think they've become hateful. I think they definitely can be defined as a modern hate group. The only thing is that it's become so big, it's become so, I guess, culturally accepted that most people don't see it, or most people don't want to believe it. How could the modern left, how could the Democrat Party be classified as a hate group? Well, you people are inherently hateful, and you justify malicious behavior targeting a particular group of people, whether it's Trump supporters, whether it's white men, or whether it's white cis females. You justify it, in fact, you encourage it, and that is inherently hateful. And good on Anna Kasparian for finally pointing that out, because we've been saying it forever, and leftoids have been claiming that we're crazy, oh, reverse racism doesn't exist. They even changed the definition of racism. Oh, you can't be racist against white people, because racism is prejudice plus power, and only white people have power. Leftoids are seething because it seems like leftoids are losing their own. They're losing in the marketplace of ideas. What a surprise, who would have seen that one coming? And just the cherry on top. Anna Kasparian also said this, which of course has the Slava Ukraini role players, the freedom-fighting LARPers, the at all cost as long as it takes people. Well, Anna Kasparian said this.
But guys, at the same time, the Ukrainians should get our help. And the Russians definitely invaded them, and they were definitely wrong, and it is definitely an imperial exercise. And so we're stuck in the middle ground here where we want to help. Good people like us want to help the Ukrainians.
Okay, then push for peace talks.
Without getting robbed in the process.
Yeah, peace talks. Okay, we don't actually, the United States government isn't actually interested in ending the war.
She actually mentioned peace talks. You know, leftoid brains gotta be imploding. It's the exact same phenomenon every single time. We're sitting here saying, that's crazy, this makes no sense, here's a policy or an idea that actually does make sense. They call us crazy, they call us extremists, conspiracy theorists, and then give it like a year, 2 years, maybe 3. And all of a sudden our talking points become normalized. The same cycle every single time. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Of course, you know we'd love to have you here. Thanks for watching, folks, and I'll see you on the next one.